Live from WTVO 17 and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Shots ring out in the parking lot of a Rockford Walmart. Investigators provide details while 2 people recover in a hospital. A presidential visit to the land of Lincoln. President Joe Biden tours an Illinois community college and promises changes to education and the child care system. The president's visit generates conversation across the state line. Local Republicans react to Biden's Build Back Better agenda. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy. We begin with a developing story in Rockford. Investigators are looking into a shooting at the Walmart on West Riverside near North Central Avenue. Our Dylan Saraki joins us live from the scene. And Dylan, what have police told you?
Mimi, police say 2 people are injured following a car-to-car shooting in the parking lot of the Walmart here on Riverside Boulevard. Police were called to the scene just before 2 o'clock this afternoon after hearing reports of shots fired. Investigators say 2 people were sitting in the parking lot in a light-colored sedan when they were shot at several times from a suspect in a dark 4-door vehicle that was driving by. Police say both victims were transported to a local hospital. One man was described as having serious but non-life-threatening gunshot wounds, while the other victim received minor injuries. After the incident, police say one of the victims ran into the store to try and get help.
Right now it's still under investigation. We're trying to get as much information as possible by speaking to the witnesses. But like we said, if anybody has any information, please contact the Rockford Police Department or Crime Stoppers.
I asked police if there was any connection between this shooting and the one from last night at the intersection of State and Alpine. They tell me they can't speculate on a possible link. Walmart employees say the store won't reopen until tomorrow morning. Reporting live in Rockford for your home team, I'm Dylan Saraki.
All right, we'll continue to follow that. Thanks, Dylan, for that live report. A man is in the hospital after a late-night shooting in Beloit. This happened on West Grand Avenue and Hackett Street around 11:30. About 15 minutes later, a 23-year-old man was brought to Beloit Memorial Hospital. He is expected to recover. Police have not provided information on a suspect. If you know anything about the shooting, contact police or Greater Beloit Area Crime Stoppers. 3 law enforcement officers are recovering after an early morning shooting in Chicago. The undercover officers were in an unmarked car in Morgan Park. They were entering Interstate 57 when several shots were fired at them. 2 ATF agents and 1 Chicago police officer were wounded. Their injuries are not life-threatening. Police Superintendent David Brown says the gunshots were fired from the street.
Right, I think this highlights some of the things I've been saying over the last several weeks. The officers are performing their jobs at the highest levels. They're risking everything to protect the people of Chicago, and this includes our collaboration with ATF, obviously. ATF officers are also giving everything to protect the people of Chicago.
1 suspect is in custody and is being questioned. According to Superintendent Brown, 36 Chicago police officers have now been shot at this year. We now know the name of the Poplar Grove man killed in a rural Boone County crash. Kurt Logan died from injuries suffered in the accident. This happened Monday afternoon. Investigators say the 54-year-old was driving east on Cummings Road near Caledonia when his truck left the road and hit a tree. The truck then caught fire. Logan was pronounced dead at the scene. It's not clear what caused the accident. The Boone County Sheriff's Department and Coroner's Office are investigating. Halfway through his first year as president, Joe Biden pays a visit to McHenry County. The president rolled out new details about his plans for the country. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell has a recap of the president's visit.
The White House said President Biden's first visit to Illinois in office was not a political one. But listening to his speech on campus at the McHenry County Community College, it was chock full of campaign-style promises. 2 years of free community college, better wages for workers, cheaper child care, and a tax break for parents. It just so happens Congresswoman Lauren Underwood's district is right there. And the president encouraging people in the audience to, quote, hold on to her when it comes election time. Some pro-Trump demonstrators rallying out front of that venue were holding signs that read, "This is Trump country."
We're going to make the biggest investment in roads and bridges since the construction of the interstate highway system, literally creating millions of good-paying jobs. And God willing, we're not going to have 40 weeks of this is infrastructure week. Remember those? Think what it will mean to McHenry's entrepreneurial agricultural program if you can get products more easily to Chicago. Or think about how much easier life will be.
The White House also pledging federal resources to kickstart a gun trafficking strike force in Chicago and 4 other major American cities. Reporting in Chicago, Mark Maxwell.
Some local Republicans agree with parts of the president's plan. Winnebago County's Republican Party chairman tells Rachel Perry there's a lot of progress to be made. She joins us now with GOP reaction.
That's right, Mimi. I spoke with the Winnebago County Republican Party and Illinois Americans for Prosperity. They tell me while they are hopeful for positive change, wasteful spending and job opportunities are a concern.
It's hard to get excited about this overall as a Republican and, as a chairman of the party, but I'm hopeful that something can happen in terms of jobs and that we can make something work.
President Joe Biden says the proposed infrastructure package will create millions of new jobs, but not all Republicans are convinced.
We really should be focusing on schools and training for the trades, things like along those lines, so that, there are so many jobs out there right now, and we just don't have enough qualified people.
The potential price tag for the plan has some concerned as well.
There's too much wasteful, reckless spending going on in Washington, D.C. His $4 trillion infrastructure plan is an obscene amount of money.
With only 20% of it going to jobs, which could actually make money. The other part of it with the social engineering is just spending money to have money.
The president says the package will also provide historic investments in roads, bridges, clean drinking water, and railways. Nicolosi tells me he's hopeful Illinois road improvements are prioritized. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Rachel. If you're looking for a job in the world of sports, you might find the perfect gig in Beloit. The Snappers are hiring. The organization's hosting job fairs tonight and tomorrow. The team needs a full staff as they move into their new stadium later this summer. A hiring event is happening right now at the Beloit transfer station on Shoreland Avenue. That wraps up at 8. Then tomorrow from 4 to 7 p.m., interested applicants can apply at a job fair at Cherryvale Mall in Rockford. Many people are using downtime this summer to add a furry friend to the family. If you want to do the same, Winnebago County Animal Services is hosting a major summer event. Empty the Shelter kicks off today. The promotion is in collaboration with Bissell Pet Foundation. This weekend, dogs and kittens are just $25 and adult cats are $5. One lucky kitten named Hazel found her forever home with a state line couple.
She felt cuddly and playful, and she had the prettiest little green eyes, so I melted. It's worthwhile, yes, because this is my first time and it's very enjoyable. Yeah, you're going to find something here.
Empty the Shelter is going on now and runs through Saturday. Interested adopters must fill out a questionnaire. Find a link to that at mystateline.com. Tonight's been 2 years in the making for cast, crew, and audiences at one of the biggest community theaters in northern Illinois. It's opening night at Rock Valley College's Starlight Theater. Last season was postponed, then canceled because of COVID, so this is the first performance in summer 2019. Starlight's 2021 season kicks off with A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. If you were watching our morning show on Fox 39 today, you got a sneak peek. For tickets, call the Starlight box office or head to rvcstarlight.com to buy them online. Former President Donald Trump is back in the news. Today, he announced a class action lawsuit against some of the country's biggest tech companies. Trump claims the social media platforms are censoring free speech. Our Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson has more as he keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
We're going to hold big tech very accountable.
Wednesday, former President Donald Trump announced a class action lawsuit against 3 of the country's biggest tech companies, Facebook, Twitter, and Google, for censoring free speech. Trump was banned from these sites earlier this year following the January 6th Capitol attack.
Our case will prove this censorship is unlawful, it's unconstitutional, and it's completely un-American.
Trump says Congress should change internet regulations to keep big tech companies in line.
The liability protections that they have under Section 230 is at a very minimum changed and maybe at a maximum taken away.
He has bigger issues to worry about than some of our friends in big tech.
But Indiana Congressman Andre Carson says former President Trump is focused on the wrong problem.
Well, I think there should be regulations as it relates to a president inciting a riot against a co-equal branch of government.
Shortly after the announcement, Republican members of the House Judiciary Committee unveiled their new agenda focusing on holding big tech accountable and increasing transparency around big tech's decisions.
We will achieve a historic victory for American freedom.
In Washington, Rashad Hudson.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
It got a little noisy for some here earlier this afternoon as we had isolated severe weather move across parts of northern Illinois, specifically into Winnebago County, as we did have a tornado warned storm earlier today. Actually started to show a little bit of rotation once we were in Stephenson County, but things are a little bit more quiet as that scattered activity expected to continue. But there's that thunderstorm as it started to develop and strengthen northwest of Freeport, moving north of Highway 20. In fact, produce a rotating, very slow rotating wall cloud and even a couple funnel clouds. Our very own meteorologist Joey Marino was out storm chasing following that storm as it moved from Freeport, Stephenson County area into north of Rockford here. Ashley shared this picture of the storm near Owens Center and Elmwood here earlier this afternoon. You see kind of a very angry looking under base as we had that lowering of that cloud and that wall cloud coming in. Joey also shared this picture with me here earlier. This is actually one of the funnel clouds that was reported. This was along 90 in Riverside here earlier this afternoon, kind of east and southeast of Beloit. None of this actually touched the ground. There was no ground circulation, no debris or anything of such, seeing it making contact with the ground. But if you did happen to see some dust kind of kicking up, it was most likely from the wind associated with the storm and also some outflow boundaries from that storm as well. Could have very well kicked up what is known as a gustnado, which actually tends to form along outflow boundaries. And you might see a little bit more dust specifically because we've been a bit more dry. But the good news for us this evening, we are going to stay fairly quiet. Now, there are still some scattered showers and thunderstorms as this cold front works through, but the risk for any severe weather for us this evening is looking to stay relatively low. Now, that's not to say within the next couple of hours, if we were to get a stronger thunderstorm, we wouldn't see a strong wind gust 40 to 50 miles per hour and also some heavy rain too. Some of these thunderstorms have been some good gully washers. Drier air though coming in will kind of rid us of some of that humidity over the course of the next couple of days. So here we go with Futurecast. This is 8 o'clock this evening. Notice we still have those scattered showers and thunderstorms. That'll continue, I think, through about 9 o'clock or so. After that, we've got the cloud cover. We will still see a couple of scattered showers that'll take us into the overnight and very early tomorrow. Tomorrow we drop the humidity. It'll feel cooler tomorrow too, but we've got the cloud cover that sticks around at least for the first half of the day. Later into the afternoon and evening, we'll start to break up some of that cloud cover, clear things out as we head Thursday night into Friday. That front is then pulled back north as a warm front late in the day on Friday. This particular model, I think, is a little too quick to bring in some of that rainfall. This brings it in Friday late morning, afternoon. I think we could see that hold off until the afternoon and then into the evening, and then some of that falling a little bit more to the south of us once we get into Saturday. Temperature-wise, our numbers in the low to mid 30s, still kind of a sticky feel out there, and it will stay that way. Some areas picking up a decent amount of rain. Our weather watcher, Ben, up in South Beloit, had over an inch of rain with that storm that came through. Bob here in Rockford had 0.2 of an inch. We'll dry things out a bit as we head towards Friday afternoon. Temperatures, though, Mimi, look at that, staying a little bit on the cooler side in the 70s for the weekend. Our first warn interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We are still going to see scattered showers and thunderstorms through the rest of this evening. Some will end up with rain, others not so much, but that'll last through about 8, 9 o'clock this evening. Then just a few spotty showers during the overnight. A little on the muggier side here this evening, but we will start to notice some drier air come in. Tomorrow we're going to be dealing with a fair amount of cloud cover. Might see a sprinkle or two at least for the first half of the day. Temperatures in the 70s for the weekend.
All right, thanks, Candace, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 6.